Usually, I try to make my videos informative and nuanced, but this one is just for us to commiserate on the worst kinds of Steam achievements. Obviously, Steam achievements are just a bonus for playing games, and you don't need to collect them. If they gave XP or any real boost to your account, there would be an even higher incentive to cheat them in, which is already pretty easy to do. But this is for my fellow people who like having a goal to work towards, encouragement to play games differently, or just achievement hunting. Okay, let's see what we have here. Number 1, multiplayer achievements. Off to a strong start. Though some games have very long legs, every game is doomed to an eventual drop in player count. But I'm not talking about these multiplayer-focused games. I'm talking about games like Bioshock 2 and Darkest Dungeon. Yeah, did you know Bioshock 2 is multiplayer? There's about 200 people in the game right now, and apparently you can sometimes get a lobby going on weekends, but multiplayer is probably one of the last things that comes to mind when you hear Bioshock. And what happens when a game's service goes offline? Those achievements are locked forever. Also, stop killing games, by the way. I'm glad to see that the initiative is still doing well. Darkest Dungeon is its own can of worms. The multiplayer is centered around a modified version of the turn-based combat from the base game, but the achievements overlap with other kinds of achievements I dislike. RNG and heavy grinding, but at least the multiplayer is free, unlike DLC achievements. Didn't pay for the expansion? You'll never be able to fully complete the game. On one hand, sure, you didn't play the full game, so you can't get the full game's achievements. But on the other hand, you might not be interested in some DLC, so you didn't buy it, and now you're missing out on 100% completion, even though you beat everything in the main game. Decent solution? Separate DLC and main game achievements, though this would take an entire overhaul of the achievement system. 3. Pure RNG and grinding. Like I mentioned before, pure RNG is unfun. For example, one of Darkest Dungeon's multiplayer achievements is to survive 5 death's door checks in one fight. If I remember right, a hero has a 75% chance to survive a death's door check. So there's a base of, hold on, let's see here, 3 over 4 to the power of 5, or 23.73% chance of surviving 5 death's door checks. Considering you have 4 heroes, this should happen fairly frequently, right? You have to remember that you are playing against someone else trying to kill your heroes. Characters can be equipped with trinkets, and there are trinkets that boost their chance to land a death blow, and they will also have some skills that have increased death blow chances. If they want to win, they will use their heroes with higher death blow percentages to kill your heroes on death's door. Sure, you can get the achievement naturally after long enough, but a series of fortunate events have to line up to get it. Sometimes, achievements that are entirely luck-based also fall under excessive grinding. If you have to retry something 100 times to get just what you need, that's grinding. Or if you play a game and there's an achievement for dying, let's say 1,000 times. Nothing says fun like finishing a game, checking your achievements, and throwing yourself off a cliff 560 times just to feel like you truly finished it. Speaking of achievements that reward you for dying, anti-achievements, the unfun kind. Some anti-achievements can be fun, like doing something unexpected or contrary to the common player. There's an achievement in Payday 2 called Fish AI, where you have to throw a bag of cocaine into the water, hoping that some fish move away from it. That's pretty funny and can be done without too much effort. I'm talking about things like die 100 times, die 1,000 times like I mentioned in the last point, or raise crime to 80% in your city, or do nothing and let your entire party starve to death. It's fine if it's something fun, especially if it comes up naturally at some point in the game, but they tend to lean towards grinding or fighting against the game just to get it to a certain state. 5. Level locked collectibles. Collectibles are an okay system in the right game to encourage map exploration, but in the wrong kind of game, they're just frustrating since you're compelled to halt your momentum and backtrack through every level just to find an Easter egg or something. Even worse if you're playing a long campaign and can't go back to previous areas to find it. 6. Once per playthrough achievements. I kind of get this for games with multiple endings, but if there's no more effort to the ending rather than make a different choice, once per playthrough achievements suck, and you just know 90% of achievement hunters reload their saves and choose the other path just to get the other achievement. Even worse when the achievement is, beat the game on X difficulty, where higher difficulties don't unlock the lower difficulty achievements. Why would you need to play through the game 2 more times just to prove you can beat it on easy and medium when you already beat it on hard mode? 7. Anything missable. If the game is more than a handful of hours, I don't want to be following a guide to make sure I do everything possible to maximize the number of achievements I get. I got burnt by this pretty bad in the tactical RPG, The Dungeon of Nahelbeck, where I missed one early game side quest, which locked me out of a finish all side quests achievement, and also a find all of a certain collectible achievement. 8. Time locked and unobtainable achievements. Anything where you had to do something in a certain time period. I remember right, there's a Left 4 Dead 2 achievement where you had to play the game with free weekend players, which they haven't done in a while. Or even when it's active, it's time restricted. So players can't really get it anymore. This also extends to achievements that have you beat the game under a certain time, or its big brother, play for 100 hours. That's just in-game player farming. Surely we're better than this. Same goes for Kickstarter or developer achievements. Surely there are better ways to make a certain group feel special. Add something like a placard to the game for them. Yeah, those are the achievements that get on my nerves the most. The only kind that I go against the grain on are difficult ones, since it's something for me to slowly progress towards as I get better at the game. I understand why people get frustrated about those though, it's just a different style of playing the game. To remedy that, and some of my other points, I'll say it's okay to have in-game achievements. You still have something to work towards if you want, but please leave them out of Steam achievements or whatever they're called in the PlayStation and Xbox networks. If you play role-playing games, particularly on Steam, you might also share my views on item hoarding, which I talk about in this video on the screen. Thanks, I'll see you around.